Farah. This is Formula Drift. Welcome to Englishtown, New Jersey, the third stop on the 2008 Formula Drift Tour. Now in this episode, I'm going to show you guys why drifting is the fastest growing motorsport and also the most democratic of motorsports, where the drivers actually help choose some of the rules that govern each race, at each race, which is really cool. So, let's go watch some drifting for a little while, and then I'm going to get on the other side of the fence and ride shotgun with current points leader Sam Hubinette in his 600 horsepower Dodge Viper Smokemobile. Stick around. Here I am in the pits with Samuel Hubinette, current tied for the points leader in 2008 Formula Drift and two-time champion of Formula Drift. Thanks for being on the show.
Well, thanks for having me.
And now, on top of Formula Drift, you're also doing a little TV thing of your own, right? Head-to-head?
Yeah, I had a great opportunity to be part of the head-to-head show, which can be seen on Torque TV.
Tell me about head-to-head.
Yeah, head-to-head was awesome. We had basically 22 cars that we were going to test head-to-head, so two cars against each other.
Right.
And it was a great experience. Get to just jump into different type of cars I never had an opportunity to drive before, and go balls out on the fastest track in the West at the Wheel Springs racetrack.
And for the record, balls out, right? Hard as you can go.
As hard as you can go to keep it on the track, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, these were cars that were supplied by owners and corporations, so obviously I didn't want to go off the track in 140 miles per hour, so
yeah.
I didn't want to be on the edge of crashing, but I went as hard as I could to keep it on the track, and that was fast.
Am I allowed to ask, of all the 22 cars, what was your favorite car to drive on the track?
The Super 7, the Cobra Super 7 brings great memories from me. There was an open cockpit, lap belt, kind of old style race car.
Yeah.
It was sketchy, it was scary, but man, it was a thrill, and it also gave you really respect to the old race car drivers that were driving in that type of vehicles and don't have the up-to-date handling, and also just one lap belt.
Now, some people have said that maybe the results of the tests could be a little biased, and that maybe you didn't push a car as hard as you could have, or they're not accurate results. How do you answer that question?
Well, my answer is I pushed the cars as hard as I could. Every car the same, and I had a blast doing it. And I am a racer. I have several years of road racing experience. So some people may think I'm a drifter, pure on a drifter, but that's actually not correct. I'm coming from a road racing background in Sweden. I did touring car racing for 5 years over there, and still do actually. Every year I fly over and do a Camaro Cup Spec Series over in Sweden every year. Cool. So it's still in my blood, and I still do some racing. And actually, 2005 I ran the Viper Racing League, 6 events and won 6 out of 6. So I kind of want to say that out to you guys that I actually do a lot of road racing too, but still loving it, going sideways for sure.
How does, what can you take from road racing and apply it to drifting, and then what can you take from drifting and apply it back to road racing?
First of all, I think being a good drifter, having the car control will help you in the situation when you do road racing, when you lose the control, the cars are going sideways, it won't be a surprise, you'll just catch over and take it. In road racing, you get adapted and used to the speed, so the speed will not affect you as when you're approaching high speed in drifting. So I think what I brought from road racing was when I came over doing drifting, I wasn't, unused to doing slight, power slides in 140 miles per hour and so on. So doing it 90 sideways was not a surprise. So you can bring stuff from both venues back and forth.
We're standing in front of a ridiculous Viper right now. We can't not talk about the Viper. Tell me about the Viper.
Okay, this is my 06 championship Viper actually. that we changed the paint scheme. We had the 08 Mopar paint scheme, which is really cool.
Really cool. The chrome is insane.
I know, chrome with metal flakes all over the vehicle. We put a big fat supercharger. We loaded this V10. It's already strong with over 500 horsepower. Now we got 748 horsepower at the rear wheels and roughly 600 foot-pound of torque. So
crazy.
It's strong. We got massive 335 BF Goodrich KDWs in the back. So we got tons of traction and tons of power. So how can you go wrong?
Visually, at least on the outside, all that really stands apart in terms of the body from a stock Viper is this giant scoop on the roof here. What does that do for you?
That's a air intake to over compressurize the interior so smoke doesn't come in and fill up the cockpit, so I can't see. So the same thing that rally cars have. They have this type of system that just fills up the interior so smoke doesn't come in.
So you have a positive pressure zone in the cockpit.
Yeah, that's the main thing. So it's pretty aggressive, pretty big. You may not need this big one, but
it looks
go
cool.
big or go home, man. It's Dodge,
cool.
it's Mopar, it's muscle, it's America.
It's hot. Does the extra power, I mean, do you really need the extra power when you're drifting?
On this track we're at today, Englishtown, New Jersey, it's really fast. It's a 4th gear initiation drift, so you have to stay on 4th gear. It's really beneficial to have the extra power, especially with now we decide to run on the 335 to really get the extra traction to be able to travel as fast as possible sideways, because that's what it's all about. As fast as possible, but sideways.
Well, it's definitely the most badass car at the track right now, I think. The Nissan 240s just can't hang with this thing, I mean, really.
Oh, well, thank you for that. I'm sure there's some fans out there that would rather see 240s out there, but that's
not on our show, dude. Well, I'm going for a ride with you later.
Yes, you are, and I'm going to give you the ride of your life. Make sure it's going to be something you will never forget. Are you scared doing this at all?
No, it's a series of events, you know.
Series of events.
It's 9 emergencies kind of packed into 15 seconds.
Look out. So here at Englishtown, they're using part of the new road course to drift on, and they're calling it the Gauntlet. Basically, here's your map right here. What happens is you're going to come in here about 80, 90 miles an hour, pretty hot. You're going to come in hot, and there's a cone right here. You have to start your drift here and drift this entire loop all the way around to there, switch directions, and then finish. Obviously, maintaining as much speed as possible through the drift is key, and they're going to measure the speed between these two cones right here. So that's where you want your maximum speed to be. Also, we just learned, as we saw in the drivers' meeting, what's happening is they let the drivers vote on how points would be deducted if you put a wheel in the dirt, if you drop a wheel. So what they ended up deciding is, if you drop one wheel in the dirt and it has to be a rear wheel, there are points deducted a little bit, okay? If you drop both rear wheels in the dirt, you get a 0, all right? And if you drop a front wheel in the dirt, you also get a 0. And that rule was just decided on today by, of all things, a show of hands from the drivers. So wheels in the dirt, not good. How fast are we gonna head into turn 1?
I would guess 95.
95 miles an hour into turn 1, sideways.
Probably 110 or 120 wheel spin.
120 wheel spin.
Hi, I'm Samuel Hubinette with Formula Drift. You're watching Garage 419. I will drift you later.